It's Tuesday, February the 21st, 2017, and this is your Barbados Today afternoon update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Now to the big story. Yet another evacuation at Combermere Secondary School with reports of students falling ill this morning and an ambulance being called in. Our Colville Moonsley reports from the Waterford institution.
There seems to be no end in sight to the environmental saga at the Combermere Secondary School, which has already resulted in the loss of significant class time last term. This morning, Barbados Today received reports that the bad smell, which has been a constant feature of the environmental wars, returned this morning, forcing students to abandon the classes and congregate on the playing field and assembly hall. This publication arrived on the scene this morning, and an ambulance was seen entering the school premises, and several parents have already arrived at the school to collect their charges. Barbados Today understands that several students have fallen ill, but there has been no word if classes will resume today. We will continue to follow this story and keep you updated as details come to hand. This is Colville Moonsley reporting for Barbados Today.
Meanwhile, President of the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, Mary Redmond, says she's been informed that the environmental issue this morning was a possible gas leak. Redmond said the union is still committed to working towards a resolution of the matter, even as it exercises a great deal of patience in seeing it through to the end. Police are still on the hunt for wanted man Marlon Omar George, alias Mali, Gongles, and Ranger. The 31-year-old George, whose last known address is number 16 Arden Close, Pinellas, St. Michael, is wanted in connection with serious criminal matters. He has a tattoo of a cross and the date 19th September 85 with the initials beside it on his back. He also has several scars on his face. George is of brown complexion and sports a low haircut. In sport, the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. has designated 2017 the Year of Sports. This comes on the heels of a successful Run Barbados in December. This designation is one of the pillars of the BTMI's comprehensive 3-year sports tourism plan. In keeping with current tourism trends and a growing traveler appetite for adventure and activity, the BTMI has identified key events aimed at capitalizing on available infrastructure and resources to generate additional business for Barbados. The Year of Sports 2017 will feature a blend of established calendar favorites and new, carefully crafted events covering interests from water sports to cricket and beach tennis.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's the celebration of agriculture, 50 years and beyond. Come and experience this year's Agro Fest exhibition at the historic Queen's Park on February 24th to 26th.
Box offices: Barbados Agricultural Society, Roberts Manufacturing Feed Store, Clear Vision Optical, Massey Stores Barbados Limited, Worthing, Sunset Crest, Oystons, and Sky Mall. Massey Stores Home, Sheraton and Pierhead, Cape Shepherd Broad Street, Waterworld Pet Shop, Jordan's Complex Spikestown, Ticket Centre, Massey Supercentre Warrings. Be there.
Get your paper. Only $2.25, $2.20. Who? For what? That's Bear Stale News. I don't read about that on Barbados Today since last night. That can't only can't do. $2.20. Who?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
It's the celebration of agriculture, 50 years and beyond. Come and experience this year's Agro Fest exhibition at the historic Queen's Park on February 24th to 26th. Don't miss the African Heritage Month celebrations, the Agro Fest Special Edition, an impressive display of leather products made from Barbados' black belly sheep, the best of crop over 2016, and much more. Agro Fest 2017. Tickets available at all official box offices.
We are back with news from the region now. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has told the Joint Select Committee on National Security that air rifles, which are classified as legal weapons, are causing growing concern to law enforcers. The inquiry into ballistics testing and firearms heard that air rifles are now as deadly as the traditional guns.
The weapon has the capacity way beyond the traditional, what we call pellet gun. So the air rifles of today are as deadly as firearms, pistols.
Air rifles are not considered illegal weapons under the Firearms Act, and there is no requirement for persons to obtain approval from the Commissioner to purchase them. The police say it is therefore necessary for the Firearms Act to be revisited, as there has been an increase in the purchase of these weapons.
So we must now put something in place where we control, as they do in the Olympics and other places, where you have your muzzle velocity not exceeding 800 feet per second or 600 feet per second.
The TTPS did not indicate whether air rifles are being used to commit serious crimes, but they did acknowledge the possibility.
In more regional news, the Trinidad-based Caribbean Court of Justice yesterday dismissed an application filed by Dominican show promoter Gabriel Douglas, accusing the Dominican government of causing a breach of contract with the Jamaican entertainer Tommy Lee Sparta. Douglas had alleged that the action of the Roosevelt Skerritt government also caused multiple violations of his rights under the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, which governs the regional integration movement CARICOM. The CCJ ruled that Douglas had failed to prove a breach of treaty rights which were intended to benefit him directly. Tommy Lee, 26, whose real name is Leroy Russell, was scheduled to perform at a concert on February 2014 when, on his arrival with 3 members of his team, Tiasha Grally, Russell, Junior Fraser, and Mario Christopher Wallace, they were all denied entry, detained, and deported the following day. On the global scene, President Donald Trump facing a chorus of calls from Democrats and Jewish leaders urging him to speak out against a rise in anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. Said today, anti-Semitism is horrible.
Etched in the hall that we passed today is a quote from Spotswood Rice, a runaway slave who joined the Union Army. He believed that his fellow African Americans always looked to the United States as the promised land of universal freedom. Today and every day of my presidency, I pledge to do everything I can to continue that promise of freedom for African Americans and for every American. So important, nothing more important. This tour was a meaningful reminder of why we have to fight bigotry, intolerance, and hatred in all of its very ugly forms. The anti-Semitic threats targeting our Jewish community and community centers are horrible and are painful, and a very sad reminder of the work that still must be done to root out hate and prejudice and evil.
And that's news and the sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.tv. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, our screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.